I have an exclusive hands-on look at Vivendi's new Scarface game. And I do have to say that movie was the first time I learned about Quaaludes. Imagine asking your mom, what are Quaaludes? Okay, so everybody wants to know about the cast, so tell us a little bit about the cast of voice acting for the game.
Sure, I mean, we have an enormous cast, probably one of the largest ever assembled for a video game. And we actually had cast all the major roles first and had, done a press release, and, people like Michael Rappaport and a lot of the people from the movie were in the cast as well. But then we went back and said, all these ancillary characters, all these secondary characters that we had, normally we'd go out and get voice actors, really talented people to come in and do the roles. Except with Scarface, it's a little different because we had so many people from the Hollywood community, actors, actresses, models, rappers, singers, sports people that said, if they're doing a Scarface game, I really want to be involved in it. So we were able to open it up, and all those traditional characters that you wouldn't have had, Hollywood type talent for, we're now able to take and put into the role. A great example of that is we have a character in the game who runs Fidel's Records, and the original description was, long-haired, devil worshipper, record store owner. And so we cast Tommy Lee for that. And it was sort of perfect. In each one of those examples, we really felt that the Hollywood person that we were bringing in to do the role, matched up with the character, and that's really what's most important.
Yeah, so give me another couple examples.
We have Jason Mewes in the game who, our game has a lot of F-bombs in it, and so it's like we were trying to think of, who can really deliver some F-bombs with flair, and we had one particular role that called for, somebody to drop as many as Tony did, and so we went out and grabbed Jason Mewes, and, we have Bam Margera, and we have Jillian Barberie, and, the list goes on and on and on.
So what about Pacino?
We did work directly with Al Pacino. We have his likeness in the game. We have a voice actor who does a great job, handpicked by Al Pacino, and so really, when you look at Tony, he looks like Tony, he sounds like Tony, he moves like Tony. It's Tony.
Is he as sadistic as Tony? We should talk maybe a little bit about the story, because the movie is dark and it's violent and it's a little bit sadistic. So
and the game is all of that as well. And we view this as almost like a 40-hour Scarface film, and it definitely captures the character.
Because didn't Tony Montana die?
He does.
At the end
he does die at the end. So what we did, what happens in a game when you die? Well, you come right back to life. So if we're going to do a see the movie, play the movie, 1995 license slap, we would have done that. But what we wanted to do in this game was give the player an opportunity to change the fiction, to put him in the role of Tony Montana. We open up the game at the very last scene of the film, in the mansion shootout. Player starts, M16, grenade launcher in hand, blow down the door, say hello to my little friend, and then bang, nonstop, cocaine-fueled, violent rage all the way through the mansion until he escapes. So the player changes the fiction, which allows us to tell another story in that universe where we wouldn't have normally been allowed to do that.
All right, so people might think Vice City when they see this game. Tell me why it's different.
Sure. I mean, if you look at Vice City, and I think all the GTA stuff are really, really great. The huge inspiration. Anytime anyone's going to make an open world game, whether it's Scarface or The Godfather, let's hope that they're learning from those games and not some of the lesser open world games. But in terms of Vice City, it's like, I guarantee you, Tony doesn't drown when he falls in the water. You can't have a game set in Miami and then have the lead character. But really, GTA Vice City, although it is a terrific game, they're really just a Scarface wannabe. It's like they tried to, borrow lots of different aspects from the film. This is totally different. We don't have to be a wannabe Tony Montana. We are Tony Montana. So that's really the fundamental difference, is that the gameplay story is nothing like GTA.
Right.
And we also do a lot of things other than, things that GTA didn't do well, like the targeting mechanics in Vice City were really, really rough and crude. We've gone to great detail to bring in, taking tips from games like Mercenaries or SOCOM that have really great third-person targeting, and able to put that in the game. So also we use a lot of other innovations. We have a huge exotic menu. You can play more than one character. So there's tons and tons of differences between Vice City and Scarface.
Cool. We can't wait to see it. And thanks, Peter.